We just helped an investor level up through a 1031 exchange. Right behind us is 8 units here in the city of Orange. This is 2 fourplexes. This is the down leg property that Amanda and I just closed. And then we helped this investor 1031 exchange into a 6-unit property in Laguna Beach. This was a great start to finish transaction. Amanda and I want to talk to the viewers on the details of this property, how we helped this investor level up through a 1031 exchange. And this was a big transaction that just completed in 2025. Amanda was integral in this sale, as the first step of the exchange was to sell these 2 fourplexes. So Amanda, thanks so much for being here. Let's talk about the property.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So what you have behind us here is 2 side-by-side fourplexes. They each are 2-bed, 1.5-bath townhome style units, over 1,100 square feet each. It's also located within a community with an HOA, and the HOA dues were about $300 a month per unit. And those covered landscaping, trash, pests, as well as community pool maintenance, which is across the street over there. So the residents have a pool to enjoy. So it was a great little property, and it was an easy transaction. We had it on the market for 8 days. We received multiple offers, and it ultimately went to 2 separate buyers, and we were able to structure the close to occur on the same day, which allowed for a seamless 1031 exchange process for our client.
That was a great execution by the team. Let's walk through the property and then talk a little bit more about the transaction.
Our client reached out to us because he was looking to consolidate. He also ended up selling a single-family home in Santa Ana, and so he consolidated these 2 properties along with the Santa Ana into a property in Laguna Beach. So this was a win for him. We also helped him get seller financing on the upleg, so he was able to get 6% for 2 years, interest only.
You know, kind of what we're going through, unpacking and sharing everything, is that we helped this client from start to finish.
Right.
It was all under one roof, right? We helped them with evaluating this property, getting on the market, getting it sold, running a concurrent process with this selling. He's also making an acquisition, going through and vetting the due diligence on that property, making sure that property checks out, arranging the financing.
Yep.
It was all done under one roof. And that kind of brings us back to the initial contact that we had from this client. They reached out to our team and said, we'd like to acquire one of your listings that you have for sale, and we'd like to do a 1031 exchange. Could you help take care of that entire process? And we said, absolutely. We have a track record of doing it. We love using the 1031 exchange as a wealth building tool for investors to level up.
Exactly. And this was the first time this ownership had done a 1031 exchange. They inherited all of these properties, and we arranged the financing, property management, insurance, and we put them in touch with an exchange accommodator. So we controlled the whole process. We have the knowledge and resources to facilitate the process start to finish. So
there was a 14-day gap from the down leg selling and the up leg closing escrow. So there really wasn't a whole lot of disruption in cash flow for the investor. They had their money working for them. There wasn't really a gap. Some investors will sell and then have to wait many, many months to then make a completion of their exchange. This was done very quickly.
Exactly.
So let's walk through and check out the, we see the meters here, so it's separately metered.
And there's actually a laundry room right here on both properties. So they have the washer dryer hookups inside, or the option to use the laundry facility on site and maybe use those washer dryer hookups for a storage area in their unit. So there's also additional income for the buyer with those laundry rooms. Each unit has a garage space. You could see right over here and there, and then along there.
So each unit gets one garage space.
Correct.
And then I see there's a lot of street parking. Every time we've been here, there's a lot of parking.
Yep. So it's good.
This is nice little desirable plexes. These are selling within the market fairly quickly.
Right. When we received multiple offers, it was pretty quick. And the escrow was 45 days long. And from when the client reached out to us to when we closed the whole 1031 exchange process, it was about 2.5 to 3 months.
Thanks so much for walking the asset with us, taking care of the investor client, running the entire sale. And then also, we're gonna shoot over to 340 Cypress here in Laguna Beach with Mike O'Neill, who helped represent the seller of that property and then also our exchange client. And Mike and I are here at 340 Cypress Drive. This is the 6-unit property that our investor clients 1031 exchange into from the properties in Orange. And we're here with Mike O'Neill, who arranged this transaction and led on the marketing and sale of this asset. Mike, thanks so much for being here. Let's talk through the property, and we want to have you show us around.
Dan, thanks for having me. As mentioned, we're here at 340 Cypress Drive in Laguna Beach. To my knowledge, this is the tallest building on Cypress Drive. It's 3 stories, built in 1972 with a rentable square footage of over 6,000 square feet. The previous owner bought this in 2021. He just sold it a few weeks ago for $4,700,000.
So Mike, you did a great job with representing the seller of this property. They were able to get a great price for the real estate, as they should. Good coastal real estate here in Orange County is in high demand. And then also is a win-win because our investor client that acquired this asset through the 1031 exchange really leveled up. Okay. How was it like creating and structuring this exchange for our investor client?
Yeah, I mean, you look at that kind of win-win scenario for both parties. For the seller, he got full price. We had multiple offers on this. And then the buyer was able to secure this just trophy asset because A, he paid full price, and he did need some extra time because he was in a 1031 exchange, which our team sold the down leg properties. And then we also structured seller financing too. So all the way around, and if you look at it on the buyer side, he consolidated some smaller properties in inland Orange County and then exchanged here. We're steps away from the ocean. We're 1972 vintage, so he improved his year built, and then the upside in this property too with appreciation is tremendous.
Right, that was why this was a no-brainer in our opinion, because this investor client was able to level up, improve location, got a 10-year newer asset, and also consolidated. As we see, a lot of investors have multiple different properties in multiple different locations. This owner that acquired the property also threw in a single-family home into the exchange. So they owned a single-family home in Santa Ana, and they had the 2 fourplexes in the city of Orange. So those 3 assets consolidating into one property, again, newer and coastal. So you went from inland Orange County to coastal in premier coastal Orange County.
Right, and I mean, you think about a lot of people listening to this, they're gonna be like, I have some older properties I want to exchange and maybe to a better area, but I don't know what I'm going to find. What am I going to do on the loan side, the insurance side? So we were able to structure all that for this buyer. We got him into a nice coastal property. We arranged seller financing. We helped with the insurance and even property management too. And so we walked him through step by step that whole process. And truly, it was a win-win for everybody here.
It was. And also, this investor is going to maintain their cash flow. I think that was a big item too. A lot of times when you go on the coast, you have to kind of sometimes give up something. Maybe you give up the amount of doors, or you give up maybe a little bit of cash flow. This investor was able to maintain their cash flow, which was a big item there.
Right, yeah. It was 4 of the 6 units here are renovated. So they already had market rent of 4 of the 6, and there was that value up side for 2 of the other ones, which they're renovating one right now, and they have the upwards of going to be in a high 4 cap once they have this property fully stabilized.
Mm-hmm. And then also about the exchange, what was great was we were able to help the investor arrange the entire exchange. We were able to sell the down legs, so our seller on this property knew exactly what was going on with our investor's down leg, which gave him confidence in knowing that, look, CBRE team is going to take care of this sale. I'm going to have transparency about the process and how this is going. I'll be alerted right away if something's not going right, but I know we got the right team to structure this exchange. They've done a number of exchanges before, so we really felt like the ownership was comfortable with us working with this exchange buyer, even though they haven't sold their down leg properties yet.
Yeah, there was no middleman involved. We kept the ownership of 340 Cypress engaged throughout the whole process, as Dan mentioned. We would give him weekly updates, what's going on with the down leg property of the buyers, and he felt extremely comfortable. And plus, with our market share here in Laguna Beach, this is now our 27th apartment sale in Laguna and 16th on Cypress Drive. So we know who's buying and selling, and then also when that buyer came to us and he was eager to sell the down leg properties, but he needed to find an up leg property and have enough time to do that.
Sometimes when you go in an exchange and you don't know where you're going, we prefer to have the exchanges set up to where we know where we're going ahead of time. Right. We know where we're going. That really eases a lot of stress for a lot of investors. So they're not worried about, I need to find that exchange property. We really try to go ahead and solve that for them on the front end.
Yeah, and I think when you're pondering, oh, I want to exchange, I want to do this, and that, there's a lot of anxieties that go with that. put all those anxieties on us. And we're able to structure all that. We work with your exchange accommodator, we do lending, we do, as mentioned, the insurance, everything, whatever you need, our team has the capability of it. It's just not Dan and I, we have a full team behind us that is all rowing together on that.
Yes, so if you're looking to do an exchange, if you want to talk about structuring one, if you want to look at your equity position to see if it even makes sense for you to do an exchange, we welcome the opportunity to have a conversation with you. Even if you haven't had a conversation with our team before, we welcome that opportunity at least to kind of brainstorm with you, see if it makes sense now, or if it doesn't, we'll tell you. So enough of that. Let's walk through this property a little bit. Let's walk around, and I want to see the views off the top.
All right, we got some ocean views. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right, we're here on the rooftop of 340 Cypress. Mike, if you will, talk to us about some of the characteristics of this property.
Well, we're all 2 bedrooms, right? And this is just a very large property, over 6,000 square feet. So we'll have 2 units here, 2 units below us, and then 2 units in the rear. And those 2 units in the rear, those are all 2-bedroom townhomes, over 1,000 square feet each.
And then you've got, again, your corner lot, you're well parked. And for Laguna Beach, 72 construction is, you don't see that very often.
No, there's a lot of buildings built in the 20s, 30s, and 40s here. 1972, to my knowledge, on Cypress Drive. This is one of the newer construction properties. One of the tallest ones too. We're on a corner lot, ample parking, and 4 of the 6 units renovated too with some upside.
Yeah, and what's nice about this property too, we can walk to Earth Cafe. There's a lot of walkability on the street. You got views behind us. You can get out to the beach. You can get to Cliff Drive. I mean, I want to live here. This is
I think the ownership is going to like maybe have 1 unit for themselves in the future because of this, right? You can, as mentioned, you can go surf, and then afterwards you go eat, and then you have downtown Laguna Beach to go after that.
Exactly, and you're in North Laguna still, so that is desirable from living here. You can get up and get out pretty quickly here in Laguna. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe so you get notifications on new videos that we post out. And we also want to hear from you. If you'd like to put something in the comments, if you'd like for Mike and I to do a video on something in the future, let us know, or give us a call sometime. We'd love to set up and discuss what you're looking to accomplish with your real estate. Thanks again for watching, and Mike and I will see you again soon.